Question number 4, Dr Megan Woods.
Thank you. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he agree with Judith Collins that Cameron Slater manufactured a story and he wanted to believe it, and the finding of the Chisholm Inquiry that Cameron Slater is prone to exaggeration?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, I'm not in a position to give the member a yes or no answer because I was not a party to the discussions between Cameron Slater and Judith Collins. My role as Prime Minister was to establish the Chisholm Inquiry, which Ms Collins had requested that I set up. I accept the findings of the inquiry and I'm delighted that it's cleared Ms Collins.
Supplementary question, Dr Megan Woods.
Why does he believe Cameron Slater's recollections of events regarding the Gwyn Inquiry but does not believe Cameron Slater regarding the Chisholm Inquiry?
Mr Speaker,
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I don't in all of them, but what I do know is that where Mr Slater has said it was his idea to put in an OIA request in relation to the IGES report, one of the reasons why I think that's highly likely they had that call, made that call, was a lot of other media decided to do exactly the same thing. It was based on the public comments that Mr Goff and I had made.
Supplementary question.
Order. Supplementary question. Order. Dr Megan Woods.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Which findings, if any, of the Chisholm Inquiry does he contest?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the document's 110 pages long, so I don't have it with me. I'm sure there'll be things that would be contested by others, but I would say this though, I actually read the whole thing actually, but I don't contest paragraph 3 where it says there is no probative evidence that Ms Collins undermined or attempted to undermine Feely. The implication that she was so involved is untenable.
Supplementary question, Dr Megan Woods.
Did his office have communications with Cameron Slater between the 23rd and 25th of November regarding the Chisholm Inquiry or the Inspector General's inquiry?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I don't think so. I'm not aware of that, no.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, Dr Megan Woods.
Did he have communications with Cameron Slater between the 23rd and 25th of November regarding the Chisholm Inquiry or the Inspector General's inquiry?
Mr Speaker.
Right Honourable Prime Minister. Would the Prime Minister please repeat his order? I was calling the Prime Minister when the Prime Minister actually gave the answer, so he didn't hear it. Calling the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, no.
Thank you.
Question number 5, Barbara Cougar.